schools, hospitals and local authorities are all struggling to cope with severe weather conditions which show no sign of easing.
There's now a drastic shortage of gritting salt, and water supplies in some areas are described as critically low.
Students at St Macdara Community College in Templeogue, Dublin, arriving for school this morning, but the majority of students and staff were unable to make it in, so the school had to close.
There are health and safety factors as well, but I suppose the main reason is that we couldn't really put on our normal programme because of lack of staff, so we regrettably were forced to close. Icy
roads and footpaths made getting around treacherous today. Gardaí had to close a section of Parnell Square after a bus got stuck on ice on a slight hill. Bus services were delayed while the road was gritted and made safe. Dublin City Council's supply of grit for the roads is at a critical level, and ordinary paving sand is being used here to make the road passable. But the council says it is expecting more deliveries of salt. Dublin City Council deployed 500 of its staff to clear ice from the footpaths in the city. Traffic was light throughout the day, with many commuters leaving their cars at home this morning and opting for public transport instead. One Dart driver walked 3 miles to work at 5 a.m. this morning to ensure the service could operate.
Much higher numbers than normal travelling with us, and we are maximising the capacity of our services to cater for the numbers that want to travel.
Fingal County Council is warning that water supplies in its principal reservoir are at a critically low level and is advising the public not to leave taps running. The bad weather is also putting pressure on hospitals.
We've had a lot of falls and slips, including head injury, neck pain, back pain. We've also had fractures to the wrist, fractures to the hip, and sprains and fractures to the ankle. So overall our trauma has gone up by 300%.
There's no sign of an end to this cold snap, with more freezing temperatures expected tonight. Diane Connor, TV3 News, Dublin.
Along with many other farmers around the country, James McCarthy is continuing to struggle because of the weather. So James, tell us your own situation.
The water has been frozen up since last Saturday, so we have to let out all the animals in individual groups to the one watering point that we've left.
A lot of extra work.
A lot of extra work, yeah.
And the water being frozen.
Water being frozen, and the inner machinery is frozen up as well, so there's a lot of work has to be done manual that would be normally done automatically.
And what about more generally for other farmers?
Generally, I suppose we have problems with the roads, but in fairness to Kerry County Council, they will grit for anyone that looks for it to be gritted, so that trucks can get in with feed and trucks can go in to collect milk.
Back roads like this one in County Kerry have been transformed into solid ice. Even some main roads that have been gritted are still very dangerous.
It's just desperate. Even coming down the road there, it's dangerous. I was spinning coming down there. They barely want to put out another bit of grit or something like.
Coming down from where I live it's pretty bad. It's very bad. You can't. Barely, but we have to.
Can you remember the roads ever being as bad?
I remember back in 1963, when I was only very young, my dad, the lake below there, the Ross Castle, that iced over, but so the roads being bad, no, never.
Gritting the primary roads is a round-the-clock challenge.
Our job is to start in the morning, keep going to dark, chippy all through.
Long days?
Long days, yeah.
Long nights?
Long nights.
And it's an important job?
Important job, yeah, that people can't come out of the by roads. We have the by roads now at the moment.
And some of the consequences of the cold spell might not be immediately obvious. For example, here at Daily SuperValue in Killarney, they have completely sold out of salt, and they have been told that it could be a full week before they get a fresh supply. When is it going to end? That's the question everyone is now asking. Jerome Hughes, TV3 News, County Kerry.
It's an aerial view of the big freeze, giving a perspective of the scale of the snow and ice that's still gripping the country, especially in the east. This Air Corps footage may be picturesque, but on closer inspection, you see the problems this weather has caused. Cars abandoned and swamped with snow near the Sally Gap in Wicklow. On the ground, Carlow had to contend with the title of the coldest place in Ireland last night. Temperatures falling further than had been expected.
We hit nearly -12 last night. It was forecast to hit about -5, -6, but we had about a 2-hour snowstorm yesterday, and it covered pretty much every square inch of Carlow. So, every road has been affected, and certainly, as you can see behind us here, the clean-up operation within the town area is on.
On the frozen back roads of Eastmeath, one local coach operator is taking matters into his own hands. He's acquired his own gritter and salt to try and keep his buses and his passengers moving. But even that wasn't enough for one of the buses that got stuck on ice near Bettystown.
We run 27 services a day out of this area, and so far we've had to cancel it today, and it looks like we're going to have to leave it off for a while. We've take roughly about 1,300, 1,400 people a day to Dublin back and back every day.
Across Meath, the County Council has been keeping main roads open. It has 3 national primary routes passing through the county. The priority has been keeping them open to traffic, even if volumes today were less than usual. Like so many other local authorities, Meath County Council says its supply of salt is stretched to the limit, and that can often mean that roads like these get overlooked. One solution may be available at this quarry in Gormanstown. They say it would be suitable for gritting icy roads.
We have 20,000 tonne approximately of Boyne sand that came out of the Boyne River a number of years ago, and we have it here available. It has a large salt content in it, as it would be from when it comes out of the sea.
Meath County Council says it may have to resort to using grit if its salt supplies run out. In the meantime, motorists will have to have their wits about them on the minor routes. Brian Daly, TV3 News.